Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Tonight I'm going to go over essential brushes to be used for any look. I broke it down to 10 brushes. My kit really has like 35 to 40 brushes, but I know that that's ridiculous to ask from you guys, so I broke it down to just 10 that what I think that you guys would need to complete any look that you want possible. So I'm going to start off with the eyes. One of my favorite brushes that I like is MAC 224. And what I use this brush for is basically blending. So I use it more in like the crease area of my eye, and I really like it because it allows for anything to be blended out. If it's a harsh line, or if you apply too much product in one spot, it's just a really good brush for that. So the next brush I'm going to go over is MAC 239. And what I like to use this brush for basically can be used for the inner corner. If you really want to put a nice positive lighter color in there, it's a really nice brush for that. Or even if you want to do a little bit of a crease, you can go in the crease with it as well. You just want to clean it in between when you're working with the look. You don't really need a second brush. You can basically just use that brush and it will work just fine. The other brush I like to go over, and this one doesn't have a label because I had gotten this during the holidays, but I know that they sell this in their regular brushes. It's like a smaller blending brush, and what I like about it is it's a much softer coverage. So if you're going, like I used it for actually this look with the pink, and what's good for it is it doesn't like deposit too much color. So that's really cool to have if you want to like pop your eye with some color, but you don't want it to be overwhelming. That's a perfect brush for that. Next, you're going to need an eyeliner brush and an angled brush. All my brushes are from MAC pretty much, just because I like their brushes. They last a long time. They're synthetic, so I don't feel like I get any allergic reactions because I'm super sensitive. You don't have to use MAC, but this is just what works for me at this time. So I use this bent brush. I actually got it from Ulta. It's not a MAC brush. It's a Studio Gear brush, and this might not work for everybody, but it works for me, and I really like it. You can use any eyeliner brush. You could just use a straight one, and what I like about this brush is it allows me to really, like be able to position my hand and just go straight across. It's just easier for me. So if you guys want to try it, I do have a video on how to do eyeliner 3 different ways, and you guys can go check that out. So my favorite angled brush is MAC, I think that says 266. It's a little old. Also, when your brushes get old, you can actually cut off the little frayed pieces so that you don't have to throw them out. It's a nice little trick. I use this brush for anything, pretty much eyebrows, if I want to do a cut crease. The next brush I'm going to go over is this Urban Decay brush, and what's interesting about this brush is I went into Sephora and I asked them for their brush that would make it look like airbrush, and this is what they gave me. So this is great for foundation if you wanted to go on really super smooth. I use it mostly in like circular motions on the face, and I always try to work with less product versus more product, and I always like to break down my product with a little bit of a facial toner, because what that does is it helps it to really bubble up on the hand really nicely and allow for like a perfect coverage where it's not chalky and it doesn't go in one spot more than the other. My next brush is 137 from MAC, and I love this brush, and I basically use it for foundation, the powder foundation, because it just goes on so smooth and it goes on really light, and I like to wear really light powder foundation on my face. I never want to look cakey. I never want it to look heavy, and this brush is perfect for that. The second thing I use this brush for is when I'm doing lighter bronzer. It's perfect because it does have that shape of the brush that you need for bronzer, but it will give just a really nice light coverage if you're going for just the soft, pretty, summery glow. One more thing I like to use this for sometimes is blush as well, but I'm going to get to the blush brush. I also use another brush for blush, so just enjoy this brush a lot. The next brush I use is just like a straight, stiffer brush. Now, the difference between the two is the other one's very soft and this one's going to give a much harsher, you know, contrast when you're using bronzer, which is also very good. Sometimes you want to, you know, have that, you know, fashion look, and this is the perfect brush for that. I also always tend to use any kind of regular foundation brush. What I use this brush for is concealer. It works really well. It just blends out very nicely. It just works for me right now. I really love it. Mine is from Chanel, but you can get it pretty much in any line. Now, the other brush I wanted to go over was this blush brush. It's the same brush, just a little bit smaller, and it's perfect just for the apples of the cheeks. And it also works well if you're using a cream blush. You can just put it in and it'll blend it very, very nicely, because sometimes cream blushes are a little bit hard to work with that first. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope it was very informative, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Thanks for subscribing.